guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today is actually just going to be a sit down, chatty, discussion style video that I have zero plan for. I'm just going to talk and hopefully you guys are here to listen. I don't have a podcast, this is like my podcast, and this is something that's been weighing heavily on me for the last year or so, and it's something I think I've been struggling with more than I even realized. And once I started opening up a little bit about it here and there, a lot of you also have had a very similar experience. So I don't know, I just wanted to kind of talk about it. So grab a snack. Let's get on into the video. Before I start talking about anything and what I personally feel I'm struggling with the most, I feel, and I think I'm right in saying that a lot of you, when you found my channel or you were looking on YouTube for something CrossFit or fitness, nutrition related, a lot of you who are doing that are not necessarily elite level athletes. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that you're looking to learn, or you're looking to make some lifestyle changes, or maybe you want to try CrossFit or want to try tracking your macros or something like that, right? And back in the day, I'm talking 2009, 2010, CrossFit in general and the community, the environment, the things that go on were not what they are today. And back then, I want to say the first couple of CrossFit games that there ever was, there were definitely athletes who had full-time jobs, where parents, it was much more attainable to have that lifestyle be your entire lifestyle, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Back then, you could be an elite level CrossFit athlete while being a normal human being. And what's happened over time, and side note, I don't mean normal in a bad way, or I don't really even know what I mean when I say normal, but I just mean you're having a regular life. For example, 99.9% of your life is not dedicated to CrossFit training, nutrition, recovery, things like that. You know what I mean? As the years went on and CrossFit as a whole became just big, it just blew up. I think, it became more fun to watch. It became more competitive and more challenging. And just like with anything, what happens when that starts to happen, people need to step their game up. People need to get bigger. They need to get stronger. They need to get faster. They need to dedicate more time. They need to do more workouts. They need to put in more effort, more consistency. And while that's amazing for the elite level athletes who are making it to the games, in my opinion, it has saturated the CrossFit specific environment to where it seems like everyone needs to have that type of mentality. Even people who aren't going to the games, regional level athletes, even the best athlete in your gym, maybe. I've seen this quite a lot on social media. It seems like nowadays, to even be good or competitive, you have to literally eat, sleep, breathe, live, die hard CrossFit. And I'm not hating on that, right? CrossFit is what got me into fitness, and I will forever be grateful for that, and I love CrossFit. However, I wanted to kind of talk about the unhealthy thinking and patterns and things that I've been struggling with, because I'm not an elite level athlete, and all I'm surrounded by, as I'm sure are you who are watching this video, all we're surrounded by on social media, especially if you're heavily into the CrossFit scene, is, elite level athletes, eat, sleeping, and breathing CrossFit, training 24/7. Their job and their livelihood is that. And the volume and the capacity of which you're seeing is not necessarily a normal fitness level capacity. So, in my opinion, and this is kind of just me taking a step back and looking at myself and kind of reflecting on what I've learned over the last few years, in my opinion, I think that became normal. Even as a non-elite athlete, the volume of which I was training, even back at CrossFit Boynton Beach, 2 sessions a day, 2 hours in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, constantly going to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Just my life was dedicated to it, but for why? And it's crazy because not only mentally do our bodies adapt to that type of lifestyle, but physically, my body adapted to that level of a training volume. And this is where I feel that it has done me a disservice, and I wanted to kind of talk about this in case anyone else is going through the same thing or something similar. Over this past year, 2022 has sucked. It's been absolutely terrible for me. It has literally just been like one stressor after another. And it was actually, ironically, Wadapalooza when my life fell apart. And it's just been constant stress and constant anxiety and things that are making me not be able to live that type of lifestyle anymore, which is okay. I talked about this in a previous video. You know, I've just kind of come to terms with accepting the fact that, like, unfortunately, as a natural athlete, I will never be able to be at the level that those elite women are at. And I'm not sitting here saying everyone's on steroids or PEDs or SARMs or whatever, but you do need to take that into consideration because it's a thing. Like I said, the competition gets harder. People need to do more shit to win. It's unfortunately in any high level sport, you're going to see some PED use no matter what. And it's just something that you have to accept. Point is, I realized that even though I was giving 150% before when things were fine and I was able to do that, I'm at this season in my life now where I'm just simply not able to do that anymore. And what started happening to me was I was getting really like frustrated and upset with myself and angry and like speaking poorly to myself, saying that I was being lazy, that I needed to get more steps in because I'm not doing intense workouts. I was trying to make up for missed workouts by walking more or getting that like energy expenditure, because both on a mental and physical level, my body is so used to that type of volume being like a baseline. And there's a lot of reasons why that's not necessarily a great thing, especially for someone, you know, with a very dedicated personality like I have and like to give everything all 100% of the time. But also like physically, it's hard for our bodies to maintain that, especially being natural. So I can't recover. Like I can't do 2-3 hour sessions and recover normally with the amount of stress that I'm under. Does that make sense? And so instead of just accepting that and realizing like, okay, this is another phase of my life, I kind of just have to like check that box and move on, I started becoming really unhappy. And I think it was when I was talking to Erin about this and we realized together, we collectively, that I, through the CrossFit space, have tied a lot of my self-worth and my like success on being fit and healthy and, you know, athletic or whatever it is in CrossFit. And I think like, not that CrossFit intentionally did this, but I do think that it's a side effect of that CrossFit hardcore, you know, no days off lifestyle. Not that I ever do that. I always take days off. But like, I think just in general, when you're in that type of environment, being around competitive people and seeing and training and doing competitions and things like that, it's really easy to get sucked into that mentality and feel like you're not doing enough. Because for me, back in the day, you know, 15, 20,000 steps a day was literally just a normal day. Between coaching, double sessions, weightlifting, walking the dogs, doing all this stuff, like that excessive activeness, excessive total daily energy expenditure became just a baseline. So when my life changed and it became, I don't know, a little bit more like a normal person's life, instantly my brain was like, oh my God, you're a loser. You suck. You're so lazy. Like, this is not good. You need to get back into it. You need to do this, this, and this. And I just feel like that's really unhealthy because to a normal person, I should say average, to the average person, I'm fairly healthy and fit. But my brain, because I wasn't at that volume anymore or that level or the intensity, it was like, no, you suck. Like, you're not fit. You're not healthy. You're not important. And that is just like so I cannot do that. So I'm sharing some of these things because I need to hold myself accountable, because I have always from the beginning wanted to be a good role model in the fitness industry. I never want to promote unhealthy behaviors. I never want to be that person that's like, oh my God, she needs to relax. She needs to do this. Like, I want to have a balanced relationship with fitness. And luckily for me, I feel like food has never been an issue. Like I have never had an unhealthy relationship with food, but now looking at the fitness side of things, I definitely feel like this stage of my life is showing me how unhealthy my relationship with, I would say, being healthy is, which is weird. Like, I did not think that that was a thing, but it absolutely is. And so, one, to hold myself accountable. Two, because a couple of things that I've been doing, instead of, like, for example, when I go into the gym, if I'm not feeling it that day and I'm just having a bad day and I was supposed to do whatever, my squats, and I can't do them, instead of like trying to make up for it and doing something else, I'm literally just leaving and going for a WALK. I can't say that right now. I am trying to lower the intensity on my days where I'm not training. I'm not wearing my Fitbit because I definitely felt like when I wasn't working out on certain days, I'd be like, okay, well, I need to get X amount of steps so that I'm still active. And like, that's so insane because I, like, as a nutrition professional, know that that's not really going to make or break your overall health. But like, it's been so ingrained in my brain, like active, nonstop, go, that sitting down even for an hour during therapy, I'm like crawling at my skin. So yes, continuing it in therapy is also a way that I'm helping this situation. And also just like not holding myself to these standards that are clearly unattainable for me anymore. And that's okay. Like doing the Wodapalooza qualifiers, I genuinely am doing them for fun and not because I think I'm going to get top anything. In fact, there are regional and elite people, again, competing in the intermediate, which I already knew. I said that last year. I think just going into it with a completely different mindset has actually changed my feeling on it so much more. And the workout that you guys saw me do last week, the 10-minute pull-up and running, typically in a normal pre-Manders, or old school Manders, I should say, I would do that and then like take a break and do the rest of my training because I didn't feel like that was enough or sufficient. So now I did that workout and I'm like, all right, I did good. I'm done for the day. And today I'm taking a rest day instead of like trying to catch up on lost workouts that I didn't get to do because I did something else. And I never thought that I would have that type of problem. Like, it's so weird to actually hear myself say this because I feel like overall I've been very balanced, but actually I think it's been like a low key underlying problem that I didn't know that I had. And I feel like it's very common because the average person is not able to do that lifestyle. And, you know, I even talked about this when I did a workout with Cody and we were talking about how, like, you really can't compete in CrossFit if you're just doing the CrossFit class. And I feel like that's very disheartening for people. Like, they want to be able to do the CrossFit class and do a competition, and then they get let down or disappointed when they're not at the level that they think that they should be at. So anyways, long-winded, you know, chat to say, I need to chill, bro. I need to chill. One thing about me is I'm self-aware though. So like, I know that I need to do it and I know I have not been practicing healthy coping mechanisms because truthfully, back in the day when I was in a very unhealthy relationship, CrossFit and fitness is what helped me through that. And I think a lot of you who have also used fitness for that similar purpose have felt the way that I'm feeling now. So we got to find new coping mechanisms, besties. Okay. We got to work through it together. And I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like it's not talked about enough. Like, the culture within CrossFit has become so insane. It just, even within the last 5 years, I'd say it's just gone wild. And like, you don't even realize that so many of these people, especially elite level athletes, they are like, I don't want to say all, but a lot of them on the bare minimum are like doing SARMs or like HRT or something to help elevate them. Like, it is very rare that you will find a truly 100% clean athlete that's competing at that level, at least cycling. And it's just how it is these days. Like, if you're naive to that, you're just naive to that. And like, I used to be. Like, I literally thought that I could be at that level without taking something, and it's just not possible. So, anywho, I am just going to keep rocking my Peloton and CrossFit workouts here and there. I'm taking a little break because of my hands from that last workout, but I just wanted to share with you. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think the CrossFit community or culture has changed since you've been in CrossFit, or if you've just experienced this in general with fitness or health. I'd love to hear it. And of course, as always, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, click the subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.